Guys, so today I wanted to share some thoughts when it comes to that one girl who grows up without having a father and then the consequences of that in the girl later in life when they pursue relationships and whatever. Well, this was completely inspired by someone who shared me their story of a really bad relationship that they had, and then the girl would find refuge on, oh, I didn't have my dad and I have daddy issues and da 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 da. Well, I made a video a while back in which I expressed from my point of view what growing up daddyless was like and how it affected me. But this time around, I want to tackle it in the sense of people who are affected in their relationships, supposedly, by this. So, hear me out. So, you probably have seen this or you've probably experienced this yourself, but you may know this one girl, or if you're a guy, you may have dated this one girl who's incredibly insecure and really self absorbed, and they feel like they gotta be a queen or something along those lines because it's like she had a crappy upbringing and it was thanks to having issues with her father. So all of a sudden, she's like, you need to treat me like a queen. And, because I was miserable during my childhood because my father wasn't there and this and that. It's like they feel like they're entitled to treating every single man that comes into their life like trash to compensate for the damage that she apparently and allegedly suffered from not having a father. Now, I'm not denying that not having a father has its effects on you. I went through that. But what I want to urge every single girl out there is that you are responsible for your actions, feelings, fate, and everything else. Like, if you're a child, I understand if you're struggling with your emotions, but if you're a grown ass woman, there's just no excuse for you to be getting involved with guys in your life and to ruin them in the process in an attempt to improve your shitty life because you're not being accountable for your own destiny. Like you feel like you don't have to work hard and you feel like everything has to be handed to you because your daddy didn't do that. No, that's not the case for you. It's not the case for me. It's not the case for any of your guys. It's not the case for any female either. So I just urge every woman to just own your situation, be responsible. Like, yes, you lived through a tragedy, but just set as a goal your you surpassing the challenge. Like, if your father wasn't present, then that should serve as fuel for you to, if you need to use it as motivation, be like, my daddy rejected me and he treated me poorly or he didn't love me enough, blah, blah. Well, imagine that you're punishing your dad by thinking, oh, well, you rejected me, so I'm going to just, not for you, but just use you as fuel to know my worth, but don't be completely egotistical about it. Like for me is okay, my daddy rejected me. And to this day, he still doesn't really approach me or anything. So I look at it as it's your loss. Because there is so much out there to see. There are so many people out there to meet. So it's like, for me, my biggest pride is knowing that my dad is like, wow, I messed up. I abandoned my child, and she is this really sweet girl, and this and that. I'm missing out. That's his punishment. I'm not even inflicting it. What would be bad is if I decided to let that, I guess, disgust that I have for him and let that bring me down. Let it keep me depressed. Let it not allow me to treat people nicely, you know? So, like I said, I cannot roll with the women who are like this, the women who use other guys as their personal objects to get them material goods or give them a home. And on top of that, you have kids with these guys so that you're forever attached to them and you can be having some kind of income in which you don't have to move a finger to obtain it because legally you are bound to it because of the stupid bias that judges tend to have toward women. Like the women can be perfectly insane in a situation, but for some reason the judge favors them, despite the guys having evidence that having custody is what's best for the children. You would think that this is a case about the well being of the children, but for some reason, it's all about making sure that the mom has her spot, or you know what I mean? So, anyways, to wrap this up, I cannot side with the girls who have daddy issues and they treat guys like objects and trash as a result. Like, I think that you just have to get the hell over it because your life is not going to be good if you let that govern you. There's just no way that I can imagine my life having a good quality like it currently has if I was hanging on to the circumstances of the past and just thinking about my dad having hurt me and then me deciding to lash out against everybody, especially the people who tried to get close to me, and even more in an emotional level. I get no pleasure, no satisfaction, no joy out of utilizing someone and also complicating their lives that they're working hard to build independently to ensure that when they share their life with you, you are comfortable as well. Like, how can you appreciate that? Like, or how can you not appreciate that? For me, I appreciate the hell out of that because I feel like as a girl, I I feel like I have to prove my worth sometimes because what kind of skills do I have? I'm not good with computers. I'm not a builder. I'm not a mechanic. So, I feel a little bit inferior to, say, my male counterparts, but I'm not using that as an excuse to have this supremacy movement against them. You know what I do? I choose to observe them, ask them questions, listen closely, and learn as much as I can and put things into practice. That is a good way to own your situation of having been rejected by your daddy. Like your father maybe could have taught you, when it's nighttime, drive closer to the middle of the road so that you don't veer off by accident or something. Whatever stupid advice a guy can possibly supply you with, anything. I don't care what it is. That vital part that a father just supplies for a girl. Whatever that is, I don't know. I missed out on it. But just because I missed out on it doesn't mean that I cannot build myself to be a strong woman and a strong woman who does not damage other people. So, once again, to all the girls out there who are daddyless, men owe you nothing. The world owes you nothing. What you have to do is, like the rest of us, be fit so that you can compete and stay on top. And what I mean by that is survival of the fittest. So if you're just whining and crying and partying and going to clubs, your life will never get together. Your life will never be better. So pick your battles, be wise, just work hard, however way you can, and do not plan on damaging other people because the damage that you inflict on others is going to come back to you but doubled. Alright, guys, that concludes my little rant. Again, this was inspired by someone who shared their current experience with me, and for me, that was just horrifying because I had heard that before, and I'm like, why have I not talked about this? So I just wanted to get it out of my chest because I know that at some point I was going to say something about it, but I felt like this was the best time. Like, I felt like I had my thoughts together. So, yeah, you guys, let me know your opinions. Let me know your thoughts. And as always, thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you soon. Bye.